Hello and good evening, everybody. I'm Donna. You are at Purple Pinky Promises. Welcome. It is Thursday, March 31st. It is the last day of March. We are a fourth of the way through the year. Did you need to be depressed? Well, there you have it. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I cannot believe that 1/4 of this year, 2022, is gone. That's crazy. That's insanity. Wow. You know what else is crazy? I'm here on time. For once. I feel like I'm prepared. I feel like I have everything, but I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs thinking, surely I've forgotten something. You know how that goes. Anyway, well, welcome everybody on YouTube, Facebook. Thanks for joining me here, whether you're here live or whether you catch the replay. I most certainly appreciate you and just stopping by and looking at projects, and makes me happy that people can get some inspiration. Before we start, I do want to tell you that the Catherine Pooler sale ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you grab your Catherine Pooler products before the sale expires. It's 10% off if you use the code capital C, capital P, capital D, and then the number 10 at checkout. There's also a post that I created for both YouTube and Facebook, and also on Instagram as well. So go check that out. All right. And the link to the store is always in the description after every live. So if you need to get a link to the store, that's where it's at. And it's also right here in front of me, in front of you. All righty. Well, tonight we are going to make a fun friendship card. And it kind of comes from a set. The stamps, or the sentiment, comes from a set called Mothers and Daughters Sentiments. And interestingly enough, this isn't just a set for mothers and daughters. Hi, John. When you see my name on there, by the way, that's my husband. If he's ever on Facebook, looks like, I'll figure it out here in a minute. I think Facebook is blue and YouTube is red. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, it might be the opposite. That's how I kind of separate the comments. Anyway, this set was geared towards mothers and daughters, but you can also create a card for a really good friend with this as well, because it's got friendship sentiments that will both work for mothers, daughters, and your friend. So that's where our sentiments came from today. The fabulous die is what we are kind of featuring as the focal point. Good evening, Lindy. How are you? Yay, thanks for joining me. So this is the fabulous die. There is a stamp set. We're not using it tonight, but it's a great it's a great set to coordinate with the die. It doesn't cut out anything here. It just is a complement to the set. So it's a supporting, they support one another. So we're using the die tonight, and we are also using these dies. These are the Notecard Postage dies. Really cool set. I love how it alternates between the stitched die and the postage. So that makes a really nice set there. Okay. Sorry about my itchy nose. Excuse me. My nose, my hair just gets in my face, and that's what we have for what we get for having curly hair. Okay, so Happy Mama 6x6 pattern paper. We're using that tonight, and of course some Spellbinders Acetate, because we are making a shaker. And those are the products. Oh, Be Mine ink and some shaker bit, or some sequins, and that's it, folks. So, the first thing I want to do tonight is just kind of go through how I ended up with the bits and pieces that I have here. So I took this die. This is the largest postage die in the set. And I cut a piece of cardstock to measure 4, and I will post that in the comments, in the description as well. So I have a piece of cardstock from the pattern paper set that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I centered it as best as I could, and honestly, folks, it's not even going to matter if it's a little off, and it might even be a little bit off because we're just going to do an inlay with it. So I centered it as best as I could, and I cut it out. So you see that, okay? Lindy, she's referring back to the other day when John spelled her name wrong. And so now she's spelling his name wrong. That's hilarious. You guys are funny. I'm like, we've been friends forever, and he spelled her name wrong. I was just like, John, come on. Anyway, it was funny. So we tease John about stuff like that. He's hilarious. Okay. So now you're going to have a solid piece that comes out of the center of this, okay? So this part that comes out, I took it, and I took this die, and I ran it through again. So I taped it down to make it good and secure. And one of the things that you really, I hope I can explain this very, very clearly, is that you really need to be very, the one thing you need to pay attention to is you don't want to cut the end that fits into this to create the continuity. And I'm going to set it down so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see, oh, see my tape is still there. You want to make sure that the continuity is still there. And what I mean by that is that this corner actually lines up with this, and it actually just sits right in there, and it's all like it's one piece, okay? And the same thing with this this bottom piece, okay? So essentially what I had done is I had took this piece and I set it in here like so, because I wanted to save this portion because I want it to still line up in here. It goes to the top, okay? And I cut it short. I cut it short. So that's how I got the gap there. So that I just moved it down and cut off the bottom of it is what I did. But I saved this part that actually fits back into here. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments after this video gets posted. But I moved it down, I ran it back through, moved it down to get that part cut off so that I could actually have a centerpiece that's showing here, okay? Does that make any sense at all? I hope it does. I actually had to kind of turn it again, so just to let you know. Yeah, so once you turn it and you run it back through, you make sure your little piece, here's the other side. So what I'm going to show you real quick. So when you're putting it back in there, you're going to have to make sure that it lines up into the die. Otherwise, you're going to get a wonky looking, you're going to get shavings and all that kind of stuff. So when you put it back in there, it will hang off the edge, but it's just like this. You just make sure it lines up back in there the way it's supposed to. You see that? And tape it down all the way around, and you would cut off your edge here. Hi, Dottie. Thanks for joining me. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dottie. I'm glad that makes sense. So you're just fitting it back into the grooves like that. Okay? But making sure that this is on this part so that you don't cut that off again, because you want it to look, you do want to make sure that it goes back and fits back in like a puzzle. So pay attention to that when you're doing that, if you duplicate this project. All right. So with that explained, I do, so in other words, I cut out this, I cut it in half and then started turning it and die cutting it, just to let you know. Okay. Where are we at? Where is, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to glue my acetate on, and it is cut just shy of 4 by 5 1/4. So I cut it at the 1/16 inch mark. I will make sure to put that in the description as well. So I'm just kind of sizing it up here before I think this part goes better. I don't know. It should be fine on either side. Yeah, I'm going to put some glue on there. We're going to get that down. So, going on there. Going along this edge. I don't really want it to seep out. So I am going to kind of change my mind on getting it all the way in there. I don't want it to smudge onto my acetate. My poor husband's spending for himself for food tonight. We all say a prayer that goes well upstairs. We don't have any alarms going off. Okay, so here we go. Lining this up. If I have any hanging off the edge, I can always just trim it, but I don't want any holes there. That's the most important thing. Okay. So there that is, and I smushed it somehow. I got glue on it. Luckily, that's not going to make a big difference because that's at the top and it's not going to show, and I'm not going to be fussy about it. So just making sure I don't have any glue, acetate hanging off the edges. And I think I'm good. Okay, so now I have a white piece of cardstock. This measures, yep, that's the one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue my pieces on right here. It seems like I have, do I have both that? I do. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on to the front. And excuse me if I seem to be very preoccupied in thought, because we're going to create just a shaker in that window in the center, and the fabulous part is going to go over that. So that's what we're doing, folks. Come on. Did I get it? I think I did. Okay. All right, so this one goes down in here. And now it's like a puzzle that we put together. Like it fits just right in there, which is really nice. And I think I am going to go corners. I don't want them to come up. I may have to reinforce that after the live on this other one. All right. So I'm sticking that down in there. There. Now we're good. Okay. Give that a second. Oops, I moved it. No bueno. That's bad, very bad. stay. Okay. And now all of that wants to stick. Hopefully I'm okay. So we have a white background because I'm going to put a bunch of fun, colorful pieces of shaker bits into my well here. We're going to create the well from the back side. And this is probably, where are we at here? I am going to take, I think this is how we'll do it. So I want to stop my shaker bits from going down. Doing the best I can, just gonna eye it here. So I want my shaker bits to kind of stop right there along that edge, but I don't want my my foam tape to show. So that's really essentially what I'm doing here, is stopping the shaker bits from going down inside. So I'm going to cut that off. But I also need, I'm going to have some more tape there. Oops, wrong way. Okay. So this is going to be our well right here in the center part. And I am going to take some of this foam tape, the foam strips, and I'm going to put that there. Let's see. I'm going to butt that up to that. Bring that corner right there as far as I can. Just like so. I'm turning it over to look to make sure we're all good, nothing's showing. Okay, so now we have this other one, the other side. You probably won't need as much. I'll have to cut that off right there. Scoot it in there. Okay. So now we have our well. You can see that this is all going to contain our shaker bits. And now we can continue putting down the rest of the way. Just so it's all on one level. And I'm going to do this one here. Might as well use it, right? Let's go all the way across there. I think we got it. And one more, and I think we're good. So I've done enough shakers that probably everybody knows how to do a shaker, so I figured I'd do a different type of shaker. I thought that would be fun to do. Whoopsie. I need some more there in the corner. Hopefully none of that shows. Nope, we're good. Okay. Shaker, shaker. So now that is going to go on there, and I'm going to put I'm using Helsinki and Soda Springs. So I'm going to put my bits in there. I'll move them around so that they okay. So I really, really like these minty looking ones, which are the smaller ones. And I do like those pink ones. So I'll put a bunch of those in there. The bigger ones are blue. And we don't really have blue in the card. So we'll just use those from this mix. You can use some little pinks too. I'm not going to use the yellow. And the reason is this yellow is a little bright. I'm just picking out bits and pieces that I really want to use. I might just put it in my hand. It might be easier to get it out if I do it that way. Here we go. I like those now it wants to stick to me. Those look kind of yellow, but I think they'll be fine if I have one in there running loose. More pink, more minty. That is In the Park, I think. And yeah, that's like a lighter version of In the Park. That's this green. Minty greenish color. Kind of like a second generation stamped color. All right. Do I want more? I don't know. I want some more of those clear bits. Those are fun. Those little clear. Those are really fun. I want some more of those. And I think we're good with that, maybe. We might add more later. Yep, let's put all those in there. Let's just do this. Whatever's left in my hand can go. Here's some more. Okay, now we're going to go to Soda Springs because it's got some of the reds and the, I don't know that I'm going to go with the turquoisey color. I'm going to go with more of these. I might actually use some of the yellows too because it's not too horribly bright. It's kind of like a clearish yellow. Get those in there. Want some more red. So the colors are intended in the pattern paper is intended to go with the Helsinki Sequin mix, but this particular paper just doesn't have all the colors that are in that mix, and so that's kind of why I'm picking and choosing what I want from what. So that hopefully that explains what I'm doing here. Let's get that out of here. We could do some white stars in there, couldn't we? That'd be cute. Let go. More. And some more red and pinks. I think that's going to look really good. That's cute. There were some more pinkish tones in here. I might need some more pink. They hold on for dear life. Actually, everything that's in there would be good. So let's just toss that right in there. How's that? And I think we should be good. Grab some more stars so those don't seem like they're so lonely. All right. Just a few more. Oh, stray hair. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We have a violation. Throw another, the rest of the reds that I have here. Yay. Okay. We're good. All right. Let's scooch that all together, spread it out. And I think we can that one's, oh, you definitely don't want that in there. That one's broken. I don't want that one. So let's see what we got going on here. It needs to come down. I'll just scoot it this way. Okay. Are we in the middle? Looking here, I barely have an edge around it. I'm going to turn it sideways so I can see it better. So hang with me, folks. There we go. Now I can see my edges just a little bit better. And actually, if I grab a piece of cardstock, set that underneath here, I can see just a little bit better what I'm doing. Because I have, it's just 1/8 of an inch around these edges. It's kind of hard to see. All right. Hope I have the right one. I think I have the right piece. This one fits on the front. Yes, I do. All right. Okay, now that I can see a little better, I'm ready to commit. Everybody hold their breath, right? So we're going to peel this off. But one of the things I do want to do is I want to make sure I go down in there with this powder. You'll need a jewel picker. I should have had a jewel picker out, shouldn't I? So that this way my my bits and pieces don't get stuck to my double-sided foam adhesive. Okay. Yeah, that's still sticky, but I'm going to put a little glue there just in case. That was kind of lifting. All right. Here we go. Moment of truth. That's that and that. And I think we are good. Yep, we are. All righty. Got to get all those icky pieces in there. Some glue from touching my mat. All right. Most of it's going to get covered up anyway because it's going to have that fabulous word stuck to it. So here we go. And I am way too far over. So I am going to cut that off. Here we go. I should have pushed that down better. Just going to cut it off. Because it's too far to the left, and I'm just doing it to even it all out, and it looks just fine. Alrighty. Now hopefully it doesn't look too wonky on here since I've cut that down. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah. That might be a problem right there. You know what? I was wanting some of that white to show, but it might be a problem since I had to cut that down. It just might be. But we'll figure it out here in a minute, won't we? We'll see what we come up with. We'll see. It might not be too bad. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to ink up my edges because I want the edges of this to be pink. And like I said, I might end up trimming all that white off if it's a problem. So here we go. Gonna ink this up, and I'm using Be Mine. We'll just kind of go with the flow here. And I'll show you the sentiment here in a minute once I get this done. So I'm using this because it will color coordinate with the paper that we've chosen. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just the edges. And I'm also going to ink up the word fabulous. And that way it's going to coordinate with our word die. So using the same color. And I could have done a different color, but I wasn't feeling very brave. So I decided not to. All right. So here we go. Not too... It's really not horrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, right? It's not too bad, actually. So I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna keep it. That looks fine. All right, so fabulous. We'll ink this up. And I am gonna be just a little more fussy. Careful with it, that is, because I don't want it to tear. But being on this mat does help a little. I will say that. Get that. I'm going to saturate it. I want that dark color. I want it to really stand out. All right. It looks fabulous. I get tickled at myself a lot, don't I? All right. I like the bright pink card base. Isn't that pretty? That is pretty. I like this I like Be Mine. It's a really pretty, bright, springy color. I may need a different baby wipe. I haven't seen better days. Okay. That's the one we grabbed. Oh, no, no, don't do that. That'll ruin it. Okay. I think we're okay. We're okay. All right. So, clean up that. And we'll stick that across the middle here. So our, you know, we could build that up a little bit so it's kind of sitting up a tad. I don't think it needs it though. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little hack. For those of you who have not seen this little hack before, I take the piece that I die cut from, that's left over, inlay it back down in there, and then I glue it so it's not going everywhere on me. And then this way I can glue it up, get glue on it. It's not as fussy, fumbly. I don't always remember to grab my inlay piece so that I can do this, but tonight I remembered. And especially since I'm going on to acetate, I just don't want it to be too fumbly. And so now I can just kind of set this as I wish. You kind of have to work quickly so it doesn't dry on you and stick together. There we go. And now you have your fabulous right across the middle. Fabulous. Okay. So the sentiment that I picked out was, what a blessing it is to have a fabulous friend like you. And if I pull out the stamp set, you can see how I did that. There are no dies to go with this. Oh, this is Barely Art Glue. This is the mini that comes in 3 packages, 3 different, you can choose from 3 different types of packages. We have, this is the medium sized, well, this is the 4-ounce bottle, and this is the 2-ounce bottle. We have just the 2-ounce, just the 4-ounce, and then we have the Big Tudonka, which is the 4-ounce bottle with the massive refill, and it comes in that with that little bear, and it's on the website. So if you look up Barely Art, if you type in Barely Art Glue, it'll pop right up, and you'll get 3 choices. Okay, so I stamped what a blessing it is to have a, and then I fussy cut it out. And the fabulous, of course, comes from the fabulous die, word die. And then I picked the word friend, and I stamped it right in here, and then I fussy cut the whole thing out. So I stamped friend and like you together. So I am going to pop that up on some foam. And right. I'm just going to grab a piece and then piecemeal my foam. Let's get some of this too. Can use that on the ends. And these strips are nice to have for these smaller areas like that. That's too much though. This one can go here. And it is too much also. I was doing this the other day. I wasn't doing a very good job of it. Getting it. My Tetris skills were off. Seems like they're still off. So get this piece. It's a little too fat for that. So we can put that here. This can go here. And that's perfect for that. And then we can just get a little bit more of this. I'm not really sure about that little end there. This might be too wide for that, so I'm going to cut a really skinny little piece here for that. That might still be too wide. I thought I got it smaller. Although, that might be too skinny. We can give it a whirl, can't we? Is that going to work? Is it? It might. Then again, it might not. No, it's not. Smaller. Not gonna work. Guys, I'm not doing very good. Hopefully it works. Looks like it does. Okay, here we go. And so voila, I just wanted it to have a little bit of shadow. So what a blessing it is to have a, bring it down just a little. Yeah, having that on dimension, it really helps it to separate from the pattern paper behind it. Our neighbor's puppies aren't happy. Okay. Friend like you. All right. There it is. Okay, so I'll show you what we have so far. Bring it up just a little closer. What a blessing it is to have a fabulous friend like you. Okay. Now I'm going to place it on here. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's got a smidgen of white around the edge. And there's hardly any over here. I feel like, I just kind of feel like this needs to come off just a smidgen. Let's see what we get. Just want it to be even with all the other sides. I may just end up cutting it all by the time I fiddle with it for so long. It is a very... Hi, Sharon! Thanks for joining us. Yay! Okay. I think it's good enough. We're just going to pop it on there. You know what? Perfection is overrated. When you go live, you just kind of have to go with the flow. And sometimes it's hard. So, I think it's cute. And I'm going with it. So, back up this way. Give us some wiggle room. There it is. Okay. This going on here, straight like that. And we have card, folks. We have a fun little, bright, cheerful, yes, thank you. Okay, oh yeah, so John is on Facebook saying hello. I just didn't know if anybody else didn't see. Making sure I didn't miss anybody here. Okay, I didn't. Sometimes the conversation goes by so quickly, but tonight it's been a little slow. All right. Getting that on there. Just like so. And come on. Well, tonight is my crooked night. It's just crooked. Tonight's my crooked night. I can't seem to get it on there. I'm a little crooked up there. See, folks, even I get things crooked. Yep, it might be my card base too, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So I'll have to fix that after I'm off of here. All right, there it is. Woohoo! Thank you, Lindy. Aw. Oh, right? That's what I think. I'm thinking if I got this in the mail, I would love this. I wouldn't worry about all the little imperfections in it. It's just fun and bright and cheerful. So there it is. I love it. Love, love, love it. Yay. I love shakers. Shakers are so much fun. Anyway, all right. Thanks, you guys, for joining me. And don't forget the Catherine Pooler sale it ends tonight, 11:59 p.m. The code for 10% off, it's just on Catherine Pooler stuff. It's C, capital P, capital D, the number 10. And that is your discount code at checkout. Thank you, Dottie. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Lindy. Thanks, you guys. Sharon, all of you guys. Thank you. So sweet. I so appreciate that. All right. Have a good night, guys. Take care.